For those of you who have been following this channel, you know that we've shifted our next 10-year strategy for Origin. And if you're new to the channel, I'm Pete Roberts, founder, CEO of Origin, and also founded a nutritional brand called Jocko Fuel. And I'm focused on one brand right now, but for about a decade, I'd been working on two brands, building two brands simultaneously. We built a factory here in the woods of Maine, about a mile from where I am right now, in 2012, with a mission to reclaim manufacturing by building Jiu-Jitsu gis. And Jiu-Jitsu is what we use to build these businesses, to build these brands. And over the past 8 months, we've shifted our strategy on Origin to truly focus on the 365-day wearing occasion of our professional patriot we call Jack, giving him what he needs on a daily basis for everything he needs in life, including the activities that he does. And we're doing it on 100% American supply chain, which is also really hard. And that's just not manufacturing, cutting and sewing, but all the knitting and weaving, all the component parts, everything comes from American soil. And it's really hard. In the background, we're having a lot of discussions on, you know, how big can we scale on a U.S. supply chain? You know, what, with the fragility of it all, you know, where are we going to end up? Even if we have great data and great planning, you know, so much has been stripped away over the last 30 years, really. And it's been a slow rebuild, and we have been rebuilding it. I'm passing one of our factories right here. Our Jiu-Jitsu plant, our footwear plant is down the street that way. Our denim manufacturing and apparel, like this hoodie, this Origin hoodie, which is like a hug. Somebody told me that. I saw a local lady and she's like, you know, I had never owned one of your hoodies, but I finally bought one after like 6 years and it's like a hug, which is a fact. That's all made down in North Carolina at a big 170,000 square foot apparel manufacturing facility. And so myself and my business partners, Andre Almeida, Jocko Willink, and Kip Fulks, who is also the co-founder of Under Armour, we've been building this thing. It's been a lot of fun, but it's the most challenging thing I've ever done in my life. Is trying to resurrect manufacturing from literal old abandoned machines after scouring the mills of New England and building a little timber frame factory in the woods and starting up a generator and getting to work. People love hearing that story. But since then, this year, I've cast a new long-term strategic vision for the brand. We've measured and we've changed. And there's really two ways you can build what we call a Yeti. A Yeti is it's a creature no one's actually seen. It's the white whale, right? In business school, they would call this a unicorn, I believe, is what they call it. It's like that thing that is so rare you might never see one. And that's what we're building. And there's two ways that businesses stall out and potentially can die or cease to exist. And that is they're not measuring and changing, or they run out of money. Those are like the two base ideas. And really, both those things happen when either you become complacent or you get over your skis. And that metaphor, getting over your skis, is like if you're skiing on a ski mountain, if you get over your skis, it's a real problem because you're gonna go face in the snow. And so we've gone through this measuring and changing phase the past 8 months with a new strategy, a new product roadmap, long-term strategic vision, an idea, a vision that'll carry us through the next 3 to 5 years. And the biggest hurdle for us is going to be, can we do it in the United States at the scale we want to do it, with the growth trajectory we want to achieve? And it's going to take tens of millions of dollars, probably hundreds of millions of dollars. And I don't know where that money is going to come from. We don't know. And I think that's the beautiful thing about business, and why a bit you're in constant chaos, is because you don't know what the next 3, 4, 5, 10 years is going to hold. And so you constantly feel like you're Indiana Jones trying to search for the the chalice. You're constantly searching and battling and running into obstacles and taking chances and taking risk, and it truly is what I love about business. I love being in control of not being in control, and chasing something that is so elusive that few will ever get the chance to get a glimpse at it. And it drives me. I don't know why, but the desire, the insatiable desire drives me. And if you're watching this, you're probably one of these folks. We're probably kindred spirits. But this next phase for us, as we've measured and changed, and we're leaning into investing in product and styles, sneakers and clothing, casual and smart casual and American heritage and textiles and these fabrics and building platforms. It gets me excited, but it also can be nerve-wracking. And so if you're a long-term customer, I would love to hear your comments on what we're doing. You know, if you like this direction, because this is the direction we're going, but I'd love to hear your feedback on that. If you're enjoying this long-term strategic vision that's been cast and how we're bringing it to life, and through the product roadmap we're bringing it to life, it'd be tremendous for me if I could hear that from you on the why. And I know there's a lot of folks that are following this vlog that aren't in business. I got jiu-jitsu guys following this thing, and I got to do more jiu-jitsu. and just folks looking for upward trajectory in life and self-actualization, which we've talked about a lot on this channel. So go back and watch all the videos, because I launch them every day. Not saying I'm always going to launch them every day, but right now I'm launching them every day. And everything I'd put into a book, I'm putting on this channel also. That's the other thing. And then someday I will probably put it in a book. But chasing this Yeti, this white whale, this unicorn. And I don't use the word unicorn because unicorns are like soft and weak, and Yetis are just like, the Maine Yeti is, I don't know, elusive and dangerous, and I think that's awesome. And so this has been it's been all consuming. The conversation in my head about the strategy and the way we've shifted and changed, and if it's the right move. Now, I believe it's 100% the right move. I'd love you to confirm or deny that, but I don't think anybody's done what we're doing, the way we're doing it, at the scale we're doing it, and I don't think anyone's gonna follow us anytime soon to the depths we're gonna go. But that doesn't mean we have time. And that's been the biggest issue I'm dealing with right now, is time, and how to speed it up and how to compound it. And that isn't jamming more into 16-hour days. It's strategically. When we first built the factory, it was all about how many hours can you put in a day. That's all it was about. It was hours, it was time in the factory, it was gaining knowledge, it was finding old machines, and it was just staying there. And I remember I was competing jiu-jitsu at the highest level, and in 2012, when we built this factory, I got a call from Saulo Ribeiro, and he's a world-class jiu-jitsu, now trainer, coach, but used to be a world-class jiu-jitsu athlete. And he was putting together a tournament, and this tournament featured the 10 top brown belts in the world. At that time, I had lost in the quarterfinals in the World Pro in Abu Dhabi. I was only a brown belt, but I was in the brown black belt division, and I had fought his brother, Shanji Ribeiro. And so I think that had an impact. I had a really good match with Shanji. He caught me in the last maybe 15 seconds in a triangle choke. But I was beating him for the match. And he said some things to me after the match, which I'm not going to share. They're not important. They were, nice things. He said some nice things. But his brother called me and wanted to invite me out to be on this, I guess, show, event, where he takes the top 10 brown belts in the world and he makes them compete for a grand prize. And I remember I got the phone call, and I was in our factory, and we had just built it, and we just put the sewing machines in. And I remember in that moment, I said, I'm going to have to pass. My dreams of being a jiu-jitsu world champion and being a world-class jiu-jitsu competitor, I I knew I had given up, but I didn't have closure until I said no, until I said I'm going to have to pass. And that would have been the springboard to the person I would have been or could have been in jiu-jitsu. I don't care about that person. I don't care about who that person was. I don't care about what that person could have been. I never thought about it again. I've never said to anybody, friends, I could have been a jiu-jitsu world champion, or I was right there, with the best of the best. Like, I don't care. It was dead to me the moment I decided to quit competition and put a singleness of purpose and focus on rebuilding America. That thing became so much more important than my self-absorbed need to be the best jiu-jitsu guy in the world and for people to take notice of that. It all went away. You'd think that one is selfish and one isn't. In a way, they were both selfish, because I transitioned my purpose from being the best in jiu-jitsu to trying to build this jiu-jitsu kimono in America, which nobody was doing. And all my effort and energy, it just was transferred into that thing, and a little bit for selfish reasons too. Like I wanted to prove a point. I wanted to make some shit happen. I wanted to prove my manufacturer in Pakistan that America still had the gumption, the wherewithal, the knowledge, the freaking resilience and grit to manufacture again in America. I wanted to prove that to him silently. Not saying we're going to do this, we're going to do that and shove it in his face, but just doing it and creating enough relevant noise so everyone took notice. And that's what we did. And now we started a company in 2011. It's 2025, almost 2026. We're shifting the strategy again. I want to lean into it so hard. I want to attack it like I'm training for a competition, like we're going to go head to head with the world's best. And we are. I believe our new strategy, we're going to eat market share of some of the biggest brands in the world. And I know they're watching, and I want them to be watching. I want to be that brown belt that everybody's watching and going, oh, fuck, I got to compete with that guy. That dude's a savage. That's where we're sitting right now. And I would say we're just a blue belt, a young, juvenile blue belt as a brand. And if everybody's watching, that's a good thing. But at the same time, we've got to make sure that we don't get caught in any submissions, right? We don't want our guard to get passed. We certainly don't want to get mounted or our back taken. And of course, I don't want to be triangled. I don't want to be choked out. So I'm going through this balance, this internal struggle with how fast do we go, how hard we go, where to apply pressure, and what is the timing of those things. And everything's about timing. So my job is to continue being unreasonable. And I will continue being unreasonable while not being psychotic. Nobody likes psychopaths. So this Sunday evening, it's all I'm thinking about. And I can't wait to freaking tomorrow. I can't wait till Monday. I can't wait to just uncork this thing. And I don't know how. I don't know what 5 years looks like. I don't know how big we're going to be. I don't know when our supply chains are going to run out. I don't know. And that gets me excited, on this crusade for knowledge, on this crusade for achieving something that no brand has ever done, ever. So if you're following, keep following. Appreciate you. Again, please tell me who you are. The last time I asked for this, 200 people told me who they were, and I appreciate that. I'll respond to every comment. If you comment, tell me who you are, what you're doing, and why you're watching. And I know there's a lot of people watching that their egos won't let them respond. So shed the ego and tell me who you are. Even if you're a peer in the industry, even if you're building a brand or corporation, company, movement bigger than what we're doing, tell me who you are. There's enough market share out there for everybody. I appreciate you too. Appreciate you watching. And would love to continue having that conversation right here. So I'm going to go into Walmart, in through the auto care backside, get what I need, and disappear.